12 costly cruise mistakes that could ruin your 2026 vacation. Last year, thousands of American cruise passengers showed up at the port with paid in full reservations and never stepped on the ship. Not because of hurricanes, not because of strikes, because of paperwork, timing, and small planning mistakes. Most cruise disasters don't look dramatic, they look expensive. Today, we're breaking down the costly decisions that can quietly ruin your 2026 cruise, including one simple booking move retirees are making that's draining thousands before they even unpack. Stay with me, because avoiding just one of these could pay for your next vacation. Think you can catch your cruise after a morning flight? Think again. 1. Flying in the same day as your cruise. Picture this. Your flight is delayed 3 hours because of weather in Chicago. Then 5. The ship sails at 4 p.m., you land at 4:12. Cruise lines do not wait, not even for 200 passengers. That's not cruelty, it's port scheduling law. One missed departure can mean scrambling for last-minute flights to the next port, paying out of pocket for hotels, and starting your vacation stressed instead of settled. I've spoken with travelers who spent over $1,800 just trying to catch up to their ship. Here's the practical move. Always arrive at least one day early, especially if you're flying from the Midwest or West Coast to Florida or Texas. Airlines overschedule and weather is unpredictable. That combination is expensive. Plan defensively. Book a refundable hotel near the port. Enjoy dinner. Sleep well. Walk onto the ship relaxed. That's not an extra expense, it's insurance for your peace of mind. 2. Booking the cheapest cabin without studying deck plans. It's tempting to click the lowest fare and feel like you won. But on a cruise ship, cabin location is everything. The cheapest rooms are often directly under nightclubs, above engine compartments, or at the extreme front and back where motion is strongest. For travelers over 65, that can mean disrupted sleep, extra joint discomfort, or unnecessary motion sickness. A balcony won't matter if you're exhausted. Here's what many first-time cruisers miss. Mid-ship, mid-deck cabins experience less sway and less noise. Pull up the deck plan before booking. Look above and below your cabin. Avoid spaces labeled entertainment, galley, or theater. Spend a little more for positioning, not square footage. I've met couples who saved $300 and spent 7 nights regretting it. That's not savings, it's self-sabotage. Your passport looks fine, but one hidden rule could stop you cold. 3. Ignoring the 6-month passport rule. Here's a mistake that blindsides experienced travelers. Your passport can be valid and still get you denied boarding. Many countries require your passport to be valid for 6 months beyond your travel dates. Even on closed-loop cruises from the US, itinerary changes can force ships into ports that enforce that rule. In 2023 and 2024, unexpected reroutes became common. Weather, mechanical issues, political changes. It happens. Imagine arriving at the terminal, bags tagged, boarding group called. Then an agent quietly says your passport expires in 4 months. You're technically valid for re-entry to the US, but not for potential diversion ports. Boarding denied, no appeal. That's a painful way to start a retirement vacation. The solution is simple and strategic. Renew your passport when it has 9 months remaining, not 6. Don't wait for the warning window. Processing times fluctuate, and expedited fees add up quickly. 4. Skipping travel insurance because I'm healthy. A lot of retired travelers tell me the same thing. I'm in great shape. I don't need insurance. Health isn't the only risk. On international waters, Medicare typically does not cover medical care, and medical evacuations from ships can exceed $50,000. That's not rare, it's documented. Add in canceled flights, sudden illness before departure, or a spouse's emergency back home, and a non-refundable cruise becomes a very expensive lesson. I once spoke with a couple who skipped insurance to save $320. A pre-departure surgery canceled their trip. They lost nearly $7,000 in prepaid costs. That's not frugal. That's exposed. Look for cruise-specific policies that include medical evacuation, trip interruption, and pre-existing condition waivers if needed. Compare coverage limits, not just price. The cheapest policy often covers the least. Waiting for a last-minute deal? That gamble could cost thousands. 5. Waiting too long to book your 2026 cruise. There's a growing assumption that last-minute cruise deals are the smartest play. That used to be true. It's not anymore. Baby boomers are traveling in record numbers, and 2026 sailings are opening earlier and filling faster, especially premium cabin categories. When you wait, you're not just risking higher prices. You're left choosing from what's left. Cabins under pool decks, far forward, or with obstructed views. Selection disappears first. Discounts come last. Cruise lines now rely heavily on dynamic pricing, similar to airlines. Demand rises, prices adjust upward automatically. The smarter strategy isn't gambling on flash sales, it's booking early with a refundable deposit. That locks in your cabin position while preserving flexibility. If plans change, you cancel. If prices drop, you adjust before final payment. I've watched couples wait for a better deal and end up paying $1,200 more for a worse cabin. That's not timing the market, that's reacting to it. 6. Not monitoring prices after you book. Here's the twist most cruisers miss. Booking early is smart, but forgetting about your reservation isn't. Cruise prices fluctuate regularly before final payment deadlines. Sometimes fares drop, sometimes onboard credits or free upgrades appear. If you don't check, you don't benefit. Cruise lines rarely notify you proactively. It's your responsibility. I've seen passengers save $800 simply by repricing their cruise 3 months after booking. Same ship, same cabin, different rate. The difference. Attention! Mark your calendar to review pricing at least twice before final payment is due. If the fare drops, call your travel advisor or the cruise line directly and request the updated rate or added perks. It's straightforward, but only if you act before the deadline. This is where preparation turns into profit. That unlimited drinks deal isn't always the bargain it seems. 7. Overpaying for a drink package you won't use. The unlimited drink package sounds like freedom. It often becomes math you didn't do. Most cruise drink packages now run between $70 and $90 per person. Per day before gratuities. On a 7-night cruise, that can exceed $600 per person. And many cruise lines require both adults in a cabin to purchase it. That doubles quickly. Here's the break-even question. Will you realistically drink 6 to 8 alcoholic beverages every single day? Not on one sea day. Every day. Port days included. For moderate drinkers, 1 glass of wine at dinner, maybe a cocktail at sunset. Paying per drink is often significantly cheaper. And remember, many cruise lines include coffee, tea, basic juices, and water already. I've met travelers who proudly declared they beat the system, only to admit they forced drinks on day 5 to justify the cost. If you want to avoid these cruise mistakes and make sure your vacation goes smoothly, this channel is for you. I post weekly insider tips, hidden rules, and updates that most travelers will never hear about. So subscribing now makes sure you're always prepared. 8. Not budgeting for gratuities, Wi-Fi, and daily extras. The cruise fare is rarely the final number. It's the starting point. Automatic gratuities alone can add $16 to $20 per person per day, depending on the cruise line. Specialty dining, internet packages, spa treatments, shore excursions, and onboard purchases stack quietly in the background. 7 days later, the final bill arrives by email. For example, internet access for 2 devices can cost $200 to $300 for the week. Add gratuities for 2 adults, and you may approach another $250. That's before excursions. If you didn't plan for it, it feels like overcharging, even when it isn't. The solution isn't avoiding extras, it's anticipating them. Before sailing, estimate a realistic per-day onboard spend and multiply it by your cruise length. Build that into your total vacation budget upfront. That way, the final invoice confirms your plan instead of shocking it. Your dream excursion could turn into a day-long endurance test. 9. Choosing shore excursions without mobility realism. The brochure says moderate walking. That can mean very different things at 35 than it does at 68. Many shore excursions involve uneven cobblestones, steep gangways, humid climates, and long periods of standing. Add heat and crowds in what sounded manageable on paper can turn into a draining ordeal. Pride pushes people to overcommit. Pain reminds them later. I've watched couples sit out the final hour of a tour because their knees gave out halfway through. They didn't lose money, they lost the experience they came for. That's harder to replace. Most cruise lines label activity levels clearly. Read them carefully. Watch independent video reviews online to gauge terrain and pace. And don't hesitate to choose easy options. Scenic drives, small group cultural tours, and harbor cruises can deliver richer experiences with far less physical strain. Strength is knowing your limits before they're tested. 10. Ignoring sea day strategy. Sea days feel like blank space on the itinerary. That's a mistake. On modern cruise ships, popular experiences, specialty dining, shows, spa appointments, tastings, often fill quickly. By the time you decide mid-morning what you'd like to do, reservations can be gone. You're left with long lines and limited options. The fix is simple. Before boarding, review the cruise line app or daily activity previews. Identify 1 or 2 priorities per sea day and reserve them as soon as you're allowed. Leave space for spontaneity, but anchor the highlights. I've seen travelers spend the first sea day figuring it out and the second trying to recover from missed reservations. Planning 15 minutes ahead saves hours later. Social media hacks look clever, but some can ruin your trip instantly. 11. Trusting viral cruise hacks without verifying them. Social media is full of cruise insider tricks. Some are clever, others are flat out wrong. You've probably seen them. Bring a power strip, prop your balcony door open for fresh air, reserve multiple lounge chairs early in the morning, hide extra food in containers for port days. The problem? Many of these violate cruise line safety rules. Confiscated items, awkward conversations, even account flags in extreme cases. For example, most cruise lines prohibit surge-protected power strips due to fire risk. Balcony doors are alarm monitored on many ships because airflow can disrupt cabin pressure systems. What looks clever online may be a safety violation in practice. The smarter move is simple. Verify hacks directly on your cruise line's website under prohibited items and guest conduct policies. If you can't confirm it there, don't assume it's allowed. 12. Poor disembarkation and flight timing. The cruise was perfect. Then the final morning turned chaotic. Disembarkation day involves thousands of passengers leaving within a narrow window. Elevators are crowded. Customs lines can stretch unexpectedly. Port traffic backs up quickly. If your return flight is scheduled too early, stress replaces satisfaction in the final hours. I've spoken with travelers who booked 10:30 a.m. flights out of Miami, assuming they'd walk right off. A minor delay in clearance pushed them into full sprint mode, and some still missed their flights. Rebooking costs and airport frustration erased the calm of the previous 7 days. The better strategy is choosing flights after 1 p.m., when possible, especially at busy ports like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or Galveston. If you have elite status or expedited customs programs, you may exit faster, but never plan on perfection. A well-timed departure preserves the tone of your entire vacation. Most cruise disasters aren't dramatic. They're decisions made months before you ever see the ocean. Flying in too late. Booking the wrong cabin. Ignoring passport rules. Skipping insurance. Overpaying for packages you won't use. Rushing off the ship on the final morning. None of these feel dangerous at the time, but together, they quietly erode comfort, confidence, and cash. Your 2026 cruise isn't just another trip. For many retirees, it's time earned after decades of work. Protect it like it matters, because it does. Travel calm, travel prepared, and let the ocean be the only thing unpredictable. If this video helped you avoid even one costly cruise mistake, this channel is for you. I post weekly insider tips, hidden rules, and updates most travelers never hear about. So, subscribing now makes sure your 2026 cruise goes smoothly. This video is for informational purposes only. It is not professional travel, medical, or financial advice. Always consult qualified experts before making decisions. Thank you so much for watching,